So hello students, this is the last part of my lipid chemistry. In this I have included lipoproteins and the amphipathic lipids. So always a short note on amphipathic lipids can be asked. Also a short note on lipoproteins. So both are important topics. And steroids. And this is also very important. Steroids have cyclic nucleus phenanthrene to which cyclopentene ring is attached. This uniformly saturated parent ring structure is designated as cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. So this is important, you should know this ring. Name of this ring is cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. Now the classical example of steroid is cholesterol, the precursor of biologically important steroids such as 7-dehydrocholesterol, then mineralocorticoids, then glucocorticoids, then male and female sex hormones, then bile acids. So these are this cholesterol is the precursor of all these important steroids, and this is the nucleus. So you should be able to make this steroid nucleus, that is known as cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring, ABCD. So this ABC is the phenanthrene ring and cyclopentane ring, D is the cyclopentane ring. Now how you will make this structure? So you have to be very particular regarding the numbering also. You cannot number on your own. You have to start from here 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. So in this way 10 11 12, and this is the steroid nucleus. It has this 19 carbons and a side chain. Now the structure of cholesterol is very important. This is a steroid nucleus or cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. So at this point, third position, hydroxyl group is there, double bond at the fifth and sixth position. So this of all the steroids, the basic structure of this cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring is same. Steroid nucleus remains same. Only difference is that of the side chain, this side chain on the 17th carbon atom. So this varies in different steroids. So you have to learn this structure. So you can learn like this. You have to make like this. There is a methyl group on the 19th position, hydroxyl group at the 3rd position, 5th and 6th position double bond is there, and on the 17th position the side chain is there, and this constitutes the 27 carbon moiety. Cholesterol is a 27 carbon moiety. Then role of cholesterol. So as we are doing only the lipid chemistry, so I'll be not going into details. In the metabolism, I'll take all these points in detail. So this cholesterol is a component of cell membrane. These are the functions of cholesterol. So it is a precursor of bile acids. It is also the precursor of different steroid hormones, precursor of vitamin D. So cholesterol can be free or esterified with fatty acids at hydroxyl group at C3. This is known as the bound form. So cholesterol can be in the free form as well as the bound form. So bound form is at 3rd position. I told you this is the only position. This is the 3rd position where hydroxyl group is substituted. So this is the only place where esterification is taking place. You know, and further you will read in the metabolism that what is the role of esterification. So it has a great significance. So this position, 3rd position where hydroxyl group is there, this is the only place where esterification takes place. Then coming to the physical properties of cholesterol, it is white, faintly yellow, almost odorless, purely leaflets or granules, then insoluble in water, sparingly soluble in alcohol, and soluble in ether, chloroform, ethyl acetate and vegetable oils, not saponifiable. Melting point is 147 to 150 degrees Celsius. Sources exogenous, approximately 0.3 gram per day. So dietary sources include butter, cream, milk, egg yolk, meat, etc. Endogenous synthesized from acetyl-CoA. So this you will read in the metabolism how cholesterol is synthesized from acetyl-CoA. Approximately it is 1 gram per day. Then coming to the different steroid hormones, steroids derived from cholesterol in animals include 5 families of hormones. So you should remember the names, because a short note on steroid hormones can also come. So the androgens, estrogens, progestins, glucocorticoids and the mineralocorticoids. So androgens, such as testosterone, and estrogens such as estradiol mediate the development of sexual characteristics and sexual function. The progestins such as progesterone participate in control of the menstrual cycle and the pregnancy. Then glucocorticoids, for example cortisol, participate in the control of carbohydrate, protein and lipid metabolism, whereas the mineralocorticoids, this regulates the salt balances in the tissues, for example sodium, potassium and the chloride. The bile acids, including cholic and the deoxycholic acid, are the detergent molecules secreted in the bile from the gallbladder that assist in the absorption of dietary lipids in the intestine. So now these are the structures. If you see this steroid nucleus remains same, and there is a little bit difference that over here oxy group is there. Then from instead of 5th 6th position, here double bond is coming. Then over here is the hydroxyl group. So cortisol, there are, in this way you can make different hormones like cortisol, testosterone, progesterone, estradiol. So basic ring, that is steroid ring, remains same in all. Only thing is that you have to remember the double bonds, the different groups which are attached, hydroxyl groups, what is the side chain, how it is formed you can see, and by making these structures you will score more marks. So bile acids, cholic and the deoxycholic acid, so as it is acid, so carboxyl group is there. Now other sterols of the biological importance. 7-dehydrocholesterol, it is an important sterol present in the skin. This differs from cholesterol only in having a second double bond between 7 and 8. So in cholesterol you saw there is a double bond at 5th and 6th position, but second double bond in case of 7-dehydrocholesterol there is a second double bond between 7th and 8th position. So biomedical importance of this: in the epidermis of skin, UV rays of sunshine change 7-dehydrocholesterol, that is pre-cholecalciferol, to the cholecalciferol, hence 7-dehydrocholesterol is called provitamin D3. This explains the value of sunshine in preventing rickets, a disease produced from the vitamin D deficiency. Then ergosterol, that is provitamin D2. So ergosterol is a precursor of vitamin D. It is a plant sterol, first isolated from ergot, a fungus of rye, and later from yeast in certain mushrooms. Same nucleus as 7-dehydrocholesterol but differs slightly in its side chain. So you can see here same nucleus but it differs slightly in its side chain, ergosterol or the provitamin D2. Biomedical importance: with UV rays, ergosterol is changed to vitamin D2 by opening of the ring B of the sterol. So you have seen the ABC rings. So hence ergosterol is called provitamin D2. Over irradiation may produce toxic products such as toxysterols and the suprasterols, etc. Then coming to another important part, that is lipoproteins. So you all know that lipids are insoluble in water, but they need the help of carriers in the plasma. Therefore they are complexed with the proteins to form lipoproteins. Otherwise lipids cannot be transported, so they take the help of carriers, that is proteins, and the association is known as lipoprotein. The protein part of lipoprotein is called the apolipoprotein. Now these are the different apolipoproteins: ApoA1, A2, A4, B48, B100, C1, C2, C3, D and E. So detail we'll be discussing in the metabolism. then fats absorbed from the diet, and lipids synthesized by the liver and adipose tissue must be transported between the various tissues and the organs for utilization and storage. As we are taking lipids and from the diet, and it is also synthesized in the liver and the adipose tissue, so it must be transported to various tissues for the utilization and the storage. Since lipids, they are insoluble in water, the problem of how to transport them in aqueous blood plasma is solved by associating non-polar lipids. So now as you have read the structures, so because always remember, it is very easy to learn metabolism if you know the structures. If you know the chemistry, you can easily learn the metabolism. So this problem is solved by associating non-polar lipids. Now you can remember the structure of triacylglycerol, है ना, glycerol plus fatty acid. Esterification के बाद triacylglycerol is being formed. So the hydrocarbon chains, they are the non-polar moieties of this triacylglycerol, and cholesterol esters, they are both these are the non-polar lipids, triacylglycerol and the cholesterol esters, with amphipathic lipids. Now amphipathic, it means both polar and the non-polar moieties are there. So phospholipids, phospholipids, you have fatty acids, you have nitrogenous bases, polar head group is there, fatty acids are there. So fatty acids में जो hydrocarbon chains हैं, that are acting as non-polar moieties, and the polar head group is there, and cholesterol. So both cholesterol and the phospholipids, now you know the structure of cholesterol also, and you know the structure of phospholipid also. So you can imagine that these are acting as amphipathic lipids and proteins to make water miscible lipoproteins. ठीक है, नॉन पोलर लिपिड्स हैं वो तो अंदर की तरफ रहेंगे, एंड द एम्फीपैथिक लिपिड्स, सो दे विल फेस द पोलर पार्ट ऑफ दिस फेस टुवर्ड्स द aqueous moiety. So plasma contains different lipoproteins in different concentrations. Increase in the concentration of certain lipoproteins increases the risk of atherosclerosis. Therefore, separation and measurement of different plasma lipoproteins is often needed. So separation and quantitation of plasma lipoproteins can be done by either ultracentrifugation and electrophoresis. So these are the two processes by which we can separate or quantitate the lipoproteins. So now you can see this ultracentrifugation. So when plasma is mixed with the saline solution, then, and if it is centrifuged at a high speed, we can say different classes of lipoproteins float through this medium at different rates, we can say, depending upon their relative density. So the lipoproteins having the high lipid content, so they are lighter, high lipid content, they are lighter and rise higher in this ultracentrifugation. So after some time or after few hours, we will see that 4 different layers are formed from above to downwards. These will be chylomicrons, VLDL, LDL and HDL. ठीक है, अभी हम we will focus on these. It is VLDL is the very low density lipoproteins, then LDL low density, then high. So from above to downward, density increases. ठीक है, so and in this, if we see electrophoresis, because this is how this is also one of the process by which we can separate these lipoproteins. So if plasma in we have to put buffer also when it is placed in an electric field, because I think you have read electrophoresis in practicals also, so you know the basic principle for electrophoresis. If this plasma and buffer, they are placed in an electric field, so different lipoproteins migrate at different speeds depending upon the electric charges on them. after some times what will happen, 4 bands will be observed. So you will see LDL, it is same as beta lipoproteins, then VLDL is same as pre-beta lipoproteins, and HDL is same as alpha lipoproteins. So so as density increases, we can say diameter of the particle decreases. Density increases, the size of the particle decreases. So plasma lipids consist of triacylglycerol 16%, phospholipids 30%, cholesterol is 14%, and cholesterol esters and 36%, and a much smaller fraction of unsterified long chain fatty acid, that is 4%. So this fraction, the fatty acids, long chain free fatty acids, is metabolically the most active part of the plasma lipids. Now 4 major groups of lipoproteins have been identified that are important physiologically and in clinical diagnosis. These are chylomicrons, then very low density lipoproteins, that is same as pre-beta, VLDL or the pre-beta lipoproteins, then low density lipoproteins or the beta lipoproteins, then fourth is the high density lipoproteins or the it is same as HDL or the alpha lipoproteins. So these lipoproteins complexes contain different proportions of lipids and the proteins. Okay, the density of these lipoproteins is inversely proportional to the TAG content. So as density increases, both size of the core and the diameter of the particle decreases. Now if you see from upward to downwards, density increases, okay, but size of the, or we can say diameter of the particle decreases. Diameter decreases. This is HDL. HDL is high density lipoprotein. So the maximum density is in HDL, okay, and but size is least. As if we compare the diameter of chylomicron and the HDL, so as we go downward, diameter decreases and the density also decreases. Now these are the basic functions. Chylomicrons, site of synthesis is intestine, functions transport of dietary lipids from intestine to the peripheral tissues. Then VLDL, liver, site of synthesis is liver, because we'll be discussing this in detail in the metabolism. So when a short note on lipoproteins can come, so at least you should write these points, that what is the definition of lipoprotein, how it works, what is the polar and the non-polar moieties, what are the non-polar lipids and the amphipathic lipids, and what are the different apoproteins of these lipoproteins, what is the site of synthesis, and what are their functions. So at least you should write a paragraph for the short note. So VLDL, transport of endogenous triacylglycerols from the liver to the peripheral tissues. LDL, it is a site of synthesis plasma VLDL, transport cholesterol from liver to the peripheral tissues. Then HDL, liver and intestine, transport free cholesterol from peripheral tissues to the liver, where it can be catabolized. So the non-polar lipid core consists mainly of the, so non-polar moiety is triacylglycerol and the cholesterol ester. So now it should be clear to you that when we talk about lipoproteins, so in this the non-polar part is the triacylglycerol and the cholesterol ester. So it is in the center and is surrounded by a single surface layer of amphipathic phospholipids and the cholesterol molecules. So both phospholipids and the cholesterol, they are amphipathic moieties because they contain both polar and the non-polar moieties. These are oriented so that their polar groups face outwards to the aqueous medium in the cell membrane, thus making the particle soluble in the aqueous solution. So if you see the structure of this lipoprotein, you will observe that this non-polar lipid consists of mainly of the cholesterol esters as well as the triacylglycerols. So this is surrounded by a single layer of amphipathic lipids. You can see amphipathic lipids, and the amphipathic lipids are the cholesterol as well as the phospholipids. So if you see this, they orient in such a way so that the polar groups, these are the polar groups, so the polar groups face outward to the aqueous medium always, and okay, so this is the structure of a lipoprotein, and this is the composition of lipoproteins in the plasma of humans. You should know the different lipoproteins, then the sources, diameter, density, then how much is the protein and the lipid content, what is the composition, then main lipid components and the apolipoproteins. So in this way, a short note on lipoproteins can be ready by this video.